Hi everyone, welcome to the Celebrity Diaries. The OJs, one of the most amazing soul gatherings ever, brought us ageless hits like Love Train and Traitors. However, behind the smooth harmonies and diagram beat achievement lies an account of grief and misfortune. In the present video, we'll dig into the existences of the OJs individuals, praising their extraordinary commitments to music, while likewise regarding the miserable and impactful minutes that undeniably their last days go along with us as we honor the voices that contacted our hearts and recall the grave sections in their exceptional venture. William Powell, brought into the world on January 20, 1942, in Canton, Ohio, risen up out of a melodic family that laid the establishment for his future achievements. His folks were dynamic in neighborhood church ensembles, cultivating a climate rich in melodic practice. Powell's dad, a talented pianist and guitarist, played a critical role in supporting his child's adoration for music, since early on Powell's vocal abilities were clear as he sang in church ensembles, uncovering a whiz capacity that would later characterize his vocation. Powell's excursion towards fame started when he joined a singing gathering in the mid-1960s, close by his companions Eddie Levert and Walter Lee Williams. The threesome, overflowing with ability and aspiration, immediately charmed the hearts of their individual canteen. Their spirit-mixing exhibitions at nearby clubs and occasions proclaimed the rise of a melodic, amazing powerhouse. It was during this time that they grabbed the eye of Supreme Records, prompting a critical second in their T-Net vocations with the marking of a keep contract. In 1963, the gathering chose to take on another moniker, the OJs, representing their common assurance to overcome the music industry. The OJs burned through no time in leaving their imprint, delivering their first hit single, Forlorn Vagabond. That very year, this promising presentation denoted the beginning of a long and productive venture, driving them to the very front of the music scene. William Powell's commitments to the OJs' unmistakable sound were unfathomable. His smooth tenor filled in as the ideal thwarted to Eddie Levert's AEM thought process, and crude conveyance making a captivating exchange of voices power. L's lead vocals on prominent tracks, for example, Let Me Make Love to You, Love Train, For the Love of Cash, and Use Toby, My Young Lady, exhibited his unmatched ability and added an irresistible touch to the gathering's collection. Also, his harmonies were like brushstrokes on a material winding around together, an embroidery of richly layered tones that became inseparable from the OJ's particular sound anyway. Destiny Delta was a brutal disaster for the universe of music when William Powell's life was unfortunately cut short in 1977. At the young age of 35, he surrendered to cellular breakdown in the lungs that had metastasized all through his body. Powell's valley, fighting against the slippery sickness, traversed quite a while, during which he went through laborious rounds of chemotherapy and radiation. Notwithstanding his tenacious battle, the music business lost an unprecedented ability, leaving a void that would never be filled. Bill Iles, brought into the world on January 4, 1941, in McAdenville, North Carolina. He developed up in Canton, Ohio. These three young fellows framed a singing gathering at first called the Mascots. This gathering developed into the Victories and at last became known as the OJs, a name that would become inseparable from profound R&B music. The OJs accomplished distinction during the 1970s, dazzling crowds with their ardent anthems and irresistible R&B hits. Their music, portrayed by rich harmonies and socially cognizant verses, incorporates immortal works of art like Double Crosser's Love Train, For the Love of Cash, and Used to Be My Young Lady. The gathering's ability to handle disputable subjects reverberated with numerous and established their place in music history. Their commitments to the class were officially perceived when they were drafted into the wild corridor of popularity in 2005. Bill was instrumental in the OJ's achievement as an entertainer as well as a lyricist-essayist. He wrote a few of their outstanding melodies, including Further in Adoration with You, One Night Issue, and Allow Me to Have Intercourse with You. His inventive input helped shape the unmistakable sound that characterized the OJs and left an permanent imprint on the universe of R&B. His life and profession were set apart by his enthusiasm for music and his relentless idealism. Unfortunately, he died from malignant growth on April 28, 2019 in Oceanside, California. His child, Dwayne Ices, affirmed his passing to the San Diego Association Tribune. Bill's memorial service was hung on April 6, 2019, where he was recalled by numerous who adored and respected him. Sean Mitchell Isles, minister at the New Pursuit Christian Association, administered the burial service and shared powerful recollections of his lively presence and his adoration for music. He was one of the most skilled, hopeful, and paramount people I have had the honor of knowing. Mitchell said he was a man who cherished music and cherished God, and he consolidated the two in front of an audience in an exceptional eye. Past his melodic accomplishments, Bill Ices was a dedicated family man. He was made do by his significant other. Shrubbed their 7 kids, 7 grandkids, and 3 incredible grandkids. His inheritance lives on through his music and the enduring effect he made on the individuals who knew him. Our Lester Christian, brought into the world on June 13, 1943, in Bison, New York. He developed up in an artistically rich climate that profoundly impacted his future vocation. His father, a minister, and his mom, a congregational ensemble vocalist, instilled their home with the profound hints of gospel music. Christian's early openness to these strong melodic customs roused him to join the church ensemble as a kid, where he found his energy and ability for singing. In the last part of the 1950s, Christian moved to Canton, Ohio, a critical change that set up for his melodic profession. It was in Canton that he met Eddie Levert and Walter Williams, framing a singing gathering that started to cause disturbances at nearby occasions. Their ability and science speedy collected consideration, and they got the attention of record maker Harold Melvin, who made a difference and sent off their expert process. Christian was a vocalist as well as a skilled lyricist and performer. He contributed fundamentally to the achievement of the OGs, composing noteworthy tunes like One Night Undertaking and Letting Me Have Intercourse with You. Notwithstanding his vocal abilities, he exhibited his melodic flexibility by playing low-pitched guitar with the Coats, further enhancing the gathering sound anyway. Christian's promising profession and life were unfortunately stopped on Spring 13, 1971, in a game-changing occurrence in Cleveland, Ohio. Christian endeavored to mediate in a behind-the-scenes fight to safeguard a companion. His brave demonstration finished in misfortune when he was lethally harmed in the quarrel. Christian was shot and killed in Phoenix, Arizona, at the youthful age of 27. The music world was left in shock and grieving later Christian's unexpected, savage demise. His passing made an indispensable void in the OGs. A gathering that proceeded to perform, however, was always set apart by the loss of their gifted bandmate fans and individual performers. The same were profoundly impacted as Christian commitments to the music business were critical notwithstanding his concise life. Straight to the point Frankie Little Minimal in the mid-1960s plain Frankie Little J, 72, turned into an urgent part of the prospering R&B bunch. The OGs joining as a guitarist and lyricist. His coordinated effort with singer Eddie Levert prompted a progression of remarkable songwriting meetings that added to the gathering's initial accomplishment. Among his credits are the 1964 track To the Jerk recorded by Straightforward Jab, as well as Goodness, How You Hurt Me, and Lovely Words. 1966 Anyway. In the midst of the victories and honors, the shadows of misfortune lingered over Lil's life, as indicated by Walter Williams, an individual from the OJOs. Frankie's heart was conflicted between his melodic desires and a profound friendship for a lady dwelling in their old neighborhood of Cleveland. Overwhelmed by his yearning for her, Frankie made the hard choice to leave the band and get back to Cleveland. Just a brief time frame after their migration to Los Angeles, Frankie's story took a dim and unfortunate turn numerous years after the fact that on February 18, 1982, laborers found fractional remaining parts of an unidentified African-American man behind a now shut foundation at 347 Ordnance Street in Twinsburg, Ohio. At first, finding just a skull, they before long revealed a beanpole around 40 to 50 feet away. The remaining parts gave indications of serious injury, including wounding gruff power wounds and posthumous consumption. The body had been eviscerated prior to being put in garbage sacks, recommending a ruthless and grisly end. A measurable anthropologist assessed the man as being little in height, around 5'6" in tall and between 20 and 35 years of age. There was also proof he could have had kyphosis, a condition causing a recognizable slouch act. Examiners hypothesized that either the person in question or his executioner may have worked at the previous Chrysler stepping plant in Twinsburg for almost 40 years. The personality of the perished stayed a secret anyway on December 14, 2021. Thanks for watching this video.